Good morning and welcome to Football League World TV. It is, of course, Friday morning and it's time for the EFL betting show. It is the international break, but we have got a selection of League One games and pretty much a full fixture list in League Two. So plenty of bets to be had this weekend. My name is Sam Rourke, the Chief Editor of Football League World. I'm delighted to be joined by my colleagues Ned Holmes and Ben Wignall. Ned, how are you doing this morning?
Yeah, good. Thanks, mate. As you said, sort of a reduced sort of set of fixtures for us to choose from, and sort of as Ben was saying before we came on, some pretty tough ones this week. But I like to think I've found some value for our viewers.
Hopefully. And Ben, how are you this morning?
Yeah, I'm good, Sam. Cheers. Back on the betting show after a few weeks away. I've gone away after a poor run of form, and hopefully I'm back to deliver the goods.
Fingers crossed. As we do every single week, we look through 4 selections: a banker, an accumulator, a value bet, and a wild card bet. So let's get straight into it with Ned and Ben's banker. Quickly, before we start, if you do want to get your bets in comments, let us know. We want to know what you are putting on this weekend. Also, if you agree with Ben and Ned's bets, please do send in your opinions. Just also, please do gamble responsibly, 18 and over. Ned, let's get your banker then for the EFL this weekend.
Right. If you've watched the betting show before, you'll know it's a bit of a theme. I like to sort of go for both teams to score often for the banker, and Ipswich versus Oxford looks a banker for that to me. Yes, the Tractor Boys kept a clean sheet in their win against Wycombe. But the stats in this one, impossible to ignore. Ipswich top the chart, the BTTS charts in League One with it. I think both teams scoring 81% of their games. And who's that in second? Yeah, you guessed it. It's Oxford United, 67% for them. 4 to 6 is not exactly groundbreaking odds, but this game screams to me both teams to score.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I think that's a great shout. Definitely one to keep tabs on. Ben, what is your banker in EFL this weekend?
Obviously, with the condensed fixture list, it's a bit tougher to find a banker, but I think most of the League One games are horror ones to predict. But going off the form lines, I'm going to go with Exeter to beat Oldham at home in League Two. The best price 3-4 with William Hill, which I think is pretty decent value considering the form of both teams. Oldham, even though they got a draw in the FA Cup last week against Ipswich Town, they're still struggling in the league, and I just think an Exeter side who are, probably very much one of the form teams in the division. Don't think they've lost since mid-August. It should be on paper, a comfortable win. The likes of Matt J will be looking to get on the score sheet. I think maybe there's been a few too many draws for Exeter fans' likings, but I think this is a good chance for Exeter to get back on a winning run. But we all know how the EFL works sometimes. Is the form book sometimes just gets thrown out the window, but I think that Exeter are a sure pick here.
Yeah, Exeter City 3-4 there. That's Ben's banker. What do you make of Ned and Ben's bankers of the weekend? Send in your comments. Right, let's look at the accumulators next. Ned, what have you gone for in terms of your accumulator this weekend?
Well, we were talking about it actually just ahead of the show. My accumulator this week's slightly less extravagant, if you'll say that, than sometimes. It's a 5-fold starting with Ipswich, Oxford, BTTS, my banker, and actually including Ben's banker, Exeter to beat Oldham. I think 3 wins on the bounce for them, and Oldham struggling. I just think that's a great shout. Also, this one perhaps a little bit, maybe the least. The longest, not longest odds, but most unlikely, perhaps. Bolton, I know they haven't been in the best form, but they're playing Crewe, who are probably the worst team in the EFL form-wise at the moment. And I just think, Bolton's recent form not been ideal, but that means you get fairly decent odds. So I've got Bolton to beat Crewe. Wednesday, I think that they were so clinical in midweek, and I think they're going to be high in confidence, and a Gillingham team that again, are not exactly banging form. So Wednesday to beat Gills. And then Walsall versus Harrogate, both teams to score. 2 of the top teams in the league that have had both teams to score most often this season, Walsall and Harrogate. And I think we can expect goals there. So that's Ipswich, Oxford, BTTS, Walsall, Harrogate, BTTS, Bolton to beat Crewe, Wednesday to beat Gills, Exeter to beat Oldham, a 5-fold at 11.85 to 1. And on Bet365, because the bonus £5 returns you £71.97, which I think is a pretty decent return.
Yeah, not too bad at all there for a five-fold. As ever, please do gamble responsibly. 18 and over. Ben, what is your accumulator for the weekend in EFL?
I know let's try and get something around 20-1, which is a bit of value, but I've obviously with the shortened fixture list, mine's only a kind of a 10-1 shot, 10.5 for each time Betway. I've got Exeter as my banker on there. I've also got Sheffield Wednesday at home to beat Gillingham, who unbeaten in 6 league games, and I think there's signs they're about to go on a good winning run. They just need to turn some of the draws they've got into wins, and I think they've got a good chance to build on the momentum of that win over Sunderland about a week and a half ago. Then I've got Swindon to beat Crawley at home. I think they just showed how good they were, Swindon, when dispatching a League One team, even though they bang out of form in Crawley-Sandra in the FA Cup. From what we've seen, though, I think definitely they do look better away from home, Swindon, than they do at the county ground. But they're up against a Crawley side who are in really poor form. So, I think this could be a comfortable win. And my fourth team on the accumulator are Carlisle. Now, this is a bit of an outside-the-box one, as I think, they've not picked up a league win since September, I think, and that cost Chris Beech's job. I think Keith Millen had a good start away at Northampton, but they're a solid side. And, I think he's picked up some confidence-boosting wins in the FA Cup and the Papa John's. And he's going to have to get his team up for this one because it's a Cumbrian derby, so Barrow will be coming all guns blazing. But I think Carlisle, the squad they've got, they shouldn't be in the bottom 2 or 3 in the division. And I think they've got every chance of picking up a win here. So that fold of Exeter, Sheffield Wednesday, Swindon and Carlisle pays around 10-1. So if you're putting a £10 on, you'll be getting around £110 back.
Nice. I like that. Like you say, Keith Millen will be keen to get a win under his belt very soon, having just took the job there. Very nice, Ben and Ned. That is their accumulators. What do you think of that? Let us know in the comments. Right, we're going to touch on the value bet next in the EFL. Ned, let's get your value bets this weekend.
As Ben said, I think with the shortened fixture list and no championship fixtures and less fixtures elsewhere, it's been quite hard to find value this week. I think I've gone for Northampton to beat Bristol Rovers at the Mem at 7-4. There's nothing personal in this, being a Bristol City fan, but I don't know it seems like this season that there's been, chaos at Rovers almost constantly, and they've got a pretty poor home record as well. Northampton, meanwhile, in pretty good nick recently, picked up quite a few wins on the bounce, and to me, this screams the Cobblers win. And at 7-4, it's no Blackpool Sheffield United from a few weeks ago, but I think you get fairly decent value for a game I can only see going one way.
Nice, I like that. Do you agree with Ned's selection there? Let us know in the comments. Ben, you had an intruder coming into your room, didn't you there? Nice to see. Ben, what is your value bet this weekend?
Yeah, the dogs are pestering me at this time in the morning. Yeah, it was hard to find some value again. Like I said, League One seemed to be pretty tough, but I've gone with Oxford, who are 23-10 with Sky Bet away at Ipswich. Now, obviously, Ipswich have kind of found a little bit of form recently, but it depends which Ipswich turns up. Oxford have been in good form as well, though, and they've picked up a few good wins on the road in recent weeks. And I'd say they're easily kind of backable here, even though Ipswich squad is a really good one, as we all know. They've had wins on the road, Oxford, this season against Sheffield Wednesday and Burton, I think. So could definitely seem sneaky one here. They've got a really good squad, and obviously doing the top 6 right now, and hopefully we're riding the crest of a wave. 23-10 they are away at Ipswich.
23-10, some good odds there, well worth checking out. As ever, please do gamble responsibly, 18 and over. Right, let's look at our final selection next, the wild card. Ned, let's get your wild card then for the weekend.
Absolutely. So I've gone for over 3.5 goals in the Hartlepool versus Newport game. Obviously, Dave Channell's departure, a little bit of uncertainty. And I think we're going to see a reaction of some sort. I'm not sure which way it's going to go. And a high-scoring game. Both clubs have been involved in pretty high-scoring games recently. I think they've both been involved in 5-0, a win and a defeat. and I think we're going to see goals, to be honest. And so over 3.5s at 11-4, which is fairly decent odds. But if you're feeling extra frisky, then over 4.5s at 8-1, and I think that's maybe worth just a couple of quid on.
Yeah, definitely some good odds there for sure. Ben, let's get your wild card then for this weekend.
I tried to land one of these about a month ago. Both teams to score in both halves, and it was a Walsall game. I think it was Walsall v Salford, and Salford not scoring in the first half kind of cost that. I think that was 16-1 or something that day. And I've gone with another Walsall game. They seem to, find the back of the net on a regular basis, and they're playing a team that also knows how to score in Harrogate. It's a 12-1 shot. Both teams know how to score goals, but they're also susceptible to conceding as well. So I think this one could be, one game in the league that sees some high scoring action. So I'm hoping that, maybe a 1-1 at half time, and then the goals start flowing in the second half.
What price is that, Ben?
12-1, that is.
12-1. Some nice odds once again. Well, there we go. That is Ned and Ben's wild card of the weekend. And that wraps up the EFL betting show. As we said at the top end of the show, it is a reduced fixture list this weekend because of the international break. But there's still plenty of really good looking bets for this weekend. This is the first show of 3 today. We've got the Rotherham United fan takeover show this afternoon, hosted by Toby Wilding. And then later on at 4 o'clock, we've got the EFL weekend preview show hosted by Alfie Burns. So plenty to get your teeth stuck into. If you haven't already, please do subscribe to FLW TV on YouTube. We really do appreciate all the new subscribers. And once again, we've got a very busy week coming up next week. So lots of EFL content for you. But Ned, Ben, thanks for joining me on this Friday morning, and we will catch up very soon.